So as you can see, there's nothing professional at all about anything that I do. Uh, shooting down the streets. I feel like there was another level in here that maybe was set up a little bit better. And pretty soon I'll get back to working on the other game there. It says, CIL 3D. Maybe that's it. Just one more. Bear with me, Ted. I know you're going crazy. With me doing this, but this is another game I actually worked with Ted on uh, a while ago. Test with ramp. There we go. This is beautiful, you guys. This level in this game. I don't know that there is. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that this has got much of anything in it. So, well, back to Radical Rebels. That's a quick block them. Oh, actually, this is another game that I made once with yet a different friend. He did all of the artwork for it. This was for a jam where we it was supposed to be for the ZX Spectrum. Let's see how this sounds. If you guys can hear it, it does the interesting. What's going on? How does build settings? Man, what the fuck happened to all these things? Oh, I know what's going on. I ended up having to recreate this game entirely. I had lots of shit happening. I lost a lot of stuff. So, you pick either attack, defend, or magic, and there's honestly very little reason to defend. Uh, Magic. There we go. And they get zapped, and then they attack each other. These excellent graphics. Both magic each other. Oh, and they burned alive. Attack. Of course, what's going on in the background is there are some cards being drawn. This is a card game that Stuart created. It's supposed to be something you could teach to drunk people, given that it's really only got like three of them. There we go. And then I forget what C does. Oh yeah, that was a wacky thing there. Anyway, enough of this silly game. Let's go back to the one I dubbed Kami Fighter back when we started it forever ago. It actually started as a two-dimensional game, entirely two-dimensional game, uh, and has turned into just an absolutely beast of a game. It has been a ton of fun to work on. As you can see, Ted's artwork is just fucking phenomenal, and I got some excuse to play around with Spine, although there's a lot of Z fighting going on in this poor guy. Luckily, it doesn't seem to translate to the game view. Um, it's all just, it's so nice. It's just so nice. community for game developers. I honestly haven't found them yet myself. And of those, I mean, the ones that end up working with publishers, the only people I really know that have were doing, like browser games and stuff like that. Uh, and even then, it's like, it's really hard to sell a browser game to somebody for whatever reason. People feel like if it's on the internet, you don't directly have to pay for it. Myself included, honestly. This is bullshit. Uh, but I don't know. Uh, my partner on this game might have some opinions. If you were to corner him, he's Ted PPU 15. Uh, I think he'd have a better idea on stuff. Like I've literally never had anything I've done published by somebody else. Like I made a record a couple of years ago now, and I did that more or less myself. I mean, obviously with the help of some other great musicians, but with video games, I wouldn't even know. Sorry, I can't help you. Oh yeah, Dwight. Good catch. I should have probably mentioned TIG Source. And I mean, also the Unity forums are pretty good. And some of those folks do work with publishers, so that'd be a good bet. I mean, I tend to stick to communities that are a bit more like learner oriented because that's teaching other people how to do stuff is what helps me to learn in the first place better. I think one of the best things I did for myself in learning to program was making sure I went out and just volunteered with some free teaching classes. And there's a lot, just TA at one of these things. And of course, there are questions that people are going to ask you that you don't know the answer to. But you'd be surprised how much stuff you can get done from, just like talking it out and seeing just sort of what. Uh, Sorry, that was pretty funny. And there we go. We've caught a pigeon. Let's fly around. Fly around. Holding my pet pigeon. Getting some more friends. Everybody come over here. Oh, that lady is stuck. Come on. What's up with this guy? Just not doing anything. Let's see if I can do some crowd surfing. You guys, go here. Ah, not enough people to crowd surf. Yeah, I played around with it a little bit. I managed to get about 150 of them before I started to feel it. Got a, I guess this is probably like a 5-year-old MacBook Pro. So while not necessarily on the low end of things, it's not specifically your as as beefy of a machine as you could be running, I guess you could say. Whew. So we've gotten. Oh no, they're knocking him up in the air and he's falling down on people and they're dying. Man, that unruly mob is just fucking brutal. They uh they get going for you and then you're just dead. cheap or earn money. Who the fuck are you? Some kind of. How do we? I don't know. You're in timeout. Oh, some spammy shit. All right, so I think we need. I need to make this guy move. That'd be pretty cool. But first, before we give him a brain, let's just, for old time's sake, smush, smush, smush. All right, cool. And here we are again. Okay. Should probably make the particle system that emits while they're walking stop when they die too. So let's see, what was that called? It's just PS. There we go. Stop the particle system. See what's going on. Yeah, well, hopefully you get some more responses on that thread. I should. Okay, let's work on this big guy a little bit. It's maybe a little bit thin for my tastes. Oh, this is the old style one. So this box closure here. C is only 0.8. It should really maybe be more like 1. And see if that looks good. I'd like to move it over a little bit more as well, because it's not really quite correct. There we go. That looks a lot better. Still gonna be a little bit of clipping around the sides, but I could make it a full-on 3D object, and we may end up doing that still at some point. But that feels about like the correct dimensions. Like I feel like I'm back of him right there. At some point, I'm gonna need to redo the animations because it's no longer a 3D game, but or it's no longer a 2D game. Shit's going crazy. I suppose I could also do the combo chain hits for the player.